What's going on, guys, and welcome to bullgearrc videos. Now today, as you can see, we have this 2021 New Bright Ford Bronco body installed on our Traxxas TRX-4 Sport. And I'm going to talk a little bit about what I had to do to get this thing mounted on here. And I guess there's no right way, no wrong way, no any one way to do this. It's kind of a custom build thing. So, you know, the way I do it may not be the way that you do it. And of course, people are putting this body on different chassis. I've seen them on axials. I've seen them on the Element with the independent front suspension, which is probably the most accurate chassis to put this on because the actual 2021 Bronco has an independent front suspension. But I chose to do mine on my TRX-4 Sport, and that's because I have a lot of brass on this thing down low, and that's going to counteract the extra weight of this hard body. At least I hope it does. But anyway, yeah, we're going to get into what we had to do to get this body installed on here. So the first thing I did, guys, actually I did install some inner fenders, but that didn't come until later. The first thing I did when I was attempting to get this body to sit down on here was I took off the front bumper and I took off the rear bumper mount completely. And the reason for that is because, well, the Traxxas frame is longer than the body. So yeah, we had to make room to get everything to sit down on here. And what I found out as I started this process, actually the frame in the back, I had to cut that off about 7 millimeters. Right, there's 2 bolt holes back here that hold on the rear bumper mount, and I cut right in between the 2 bolt holes so that the body would slide down, you know, past the bumper that was on the hard body. So it just had to come off, otherwise the body would stop. It would sit on the frame rails and we couldn't get it down as low as we wanted. So we did cut off 7 millimeters from the back, and then kind of skipping ahead, when I installed the inner fenders are as long as the frame rails on the stock Sport, so I also had to trim off the back of the inner fenders to make those match with the length of the frame rail to get all that to fit together. Now moving to the front, these were the original mounts, and they were pretty long. These were the ones that, you know, mounted onto the toy truck, and they were pretty long. They were probably 2 inches longer than they are now. And I did cut these down, and then also I trimmed out, I don't know if you can see here, but I trimmed out the insides on both sides so that these will actually slide down next to the existing body post, and it kind of holds it in place that way from shifting side to side. And in the back here, there was a big plastic mount that was screwed in here and here. That mount didn't get in the way when we were doing our actual fitting, but it wasn't needed in there. It was a little bit wider than the frame, so it sat down beside the frame rails. We didn't need it. I just unscrewed that, took that out of there. So what we got is, when this thing sits down on here, guys, it sits right down on our rock sliders, and that's, you know, that's as low as we can. We could cut this off and maybe get it to go lower, but right now I got the suspension at a full droop, and that's as low, I think, as I want to go with it, which actually is, you know, pretty much perfect. It you know, like I said, it sits right on the rock sliders. So to eventually mount this, you know, I will probably just put some Velcro on the underneath side of the of this and on the top side of the rock slide. right in between here, and you know, when we put it down, we just stick it on with Velcro, and it actually, you know, even without anything, it's kind of holding pretty good the way it is. Now, beyond trimming all this out, at first I took the front bumper off and I left the bumper on the body, and I just kind of didn't like the way it was looking. I wanted an actual bumper out here. I wanted to be able to change bumpers, you know, maybe put a metal bumper on in the future. So we cut off the bumper right at the body line. I still have a little more work to do. I just took a die grinder and just trimmed that off, and then the fenders came down here. I did put 4.75 tires on here when I was doing my fitting, just to see where we were going to rub. We were going to rub here on the fenders a little bit, so I trimmed these back to this body line and kind of at an angle. Yeah, there's somebody who wants to talk to me. And, you know, we just kind of trimmed this little bit out right here. Other than that, I left all this intact. Coming around to the back, we did the same thing again. I took the back bumper off, and you know, again, just with a die grinder, we trimmed all that off, and I'm kind of pretty happy with the way it's sitting down on there and the way it looks. And, you know, as you can see, it's not difficult to put the body on. It just kind of fits right down here into place. So yeah, that's where we're at with that. So that's kind of the first stage, is getting, you know, just getting the fitment right, and I think I'm pretty happy with that. We do have the stock TRX-4 Sport bumper on here. It seems to go pretty good with the body for now, so I don't know what I'll do. I might put another bumper on the front. We'll get to that when we'll cross that bridge when we get to it. And I do also have the mirrors taken off, just because, you know, I packed this thing in my case while I'm traveling, so I didn't want to break the mirrors. But yeah, that's where we are insofar as body fitment on this project. Once this stage is pretty much complete, so next thing I'm going to do is move on to doing some more maintenance to this TRX-4. I did add brass to the rear portal covers. The front brass was already on here, and looking underneath, let's see, we got it at an angle here, but there we go. Looking underneath, we can see how the rock sliders, you know, it all just fits right together pretty nicely once we you know, do the little bit of trimming that we've done on here. And anyhow, next thing we're going to do is, like I said, we're going to go through here and do the maintenance on this thing, clean it all up nicely. We're going to install the new electronics, and then we will start in on doing some body work and changing the color of this thing. I don't really personally mind the yellow myself, but they come yellow, so most of the ones that I've seen that people have done are yellow, and I'm going to change the color out. We're going to change the wheels, tires. I don't know if I'm going to use these wheels or not. I will look around, see if I can find a set of bead locks that I like for this body, and we'll put the Pitbull Mad Beast tires on here that I bought for this specifically, and we'll see what happens with it here down the road a bit. I want to get this thing finished up. And another thing I did want to mention, guys, this doesn't have clear glass in it, and there is a place, it's called Tan Woodworks on Facebook. Tan Woodworks, he does clear glass for these particular bodies. He vacuum forms them, kind of like Wes does on West Made when he does the styrene. The guy's doing the clear windows. He also is making the door insert, the little hole thing that goes through the doors on the 1-to-1 models, so you can do that. I think he's working on now a dashboard for it, for, you know, if you want to do an interior. I don't know if I want to do the doors and clear windows at this point until maybe there's a full interior set or something that I can pick up for it. But we'll come to that again as we get to it. But for right now, yeah, if you want Tan Woodworks, I'll leave a link in the description below so you can go see the clear windows, the door inserts, the dash, all the stuff that he's doing for this particular body. And until next time, guys, old Uncle Lee, bullgearrc Videos said, I'll see ya.